G'day people and welcome to the Ceylon, another video on the putting green out with the YT6702. What a machine this is. Wah, 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 wah. Right, so before we verticut the green, I first want to talk about this Kentucky bluegrass lawn. One thing that staggered me is I've got this wrong for the last 4 years of growing this Kentucky bluegrass. I don't think I quite understand how mild this Johannesburg winter thing is. This is the coldest winter we've had since I can remember staying here. And guys, this thing is growing lush. I think it was completely under fertilized. This thing really, if you keep gooing nitrogen at it, it will keep growing at you. Okay? Just check how flippin' nice that is, Owens. Frost is nailing these plants, but the grass, yeah. Right, so I've got two issues on this lawn, and the very first one I'm going to talk about is quite huge. I've got a massive poa infestation. As you can see in the mornings, it's even more clear because the dew sits a little bit differently on that area. So until I can find a pre-emergent in South Africa that's suitable for cool season grass, especially Kentucky bluegrass, I don't think this problem will get any better. The other big problem is right there. Somehow, one of my dogs clearly came onto this lawn and made a wee-wee there. You can see that because it's very dark around. It's difficult in this morning light to see it. Very dark around that. So you can see that's a urea burn, Owens. And no, that's not a user error. I didn't do something stupid. That's dogs. Right, so in the previous putting green video, we've established that this thing is now a little bit thick. And today, I'm going to make it a little bit thin. I'm going to thin it out a little bit with this YT6702. The previous time I did a scarification or a whatever, I used the scarifying blades. However, today I've got the solid blades on here. I'm going to use the verticutting blades. Let's thin this oakie out. Okay, sorry, the last bit of talking just before we start. The reason I want to do that is this grass is starting to get so thick, it's popping up. Once again, the winter's quite mild, so we had proper growing grass here the last while. So I'm sitting with these stuff that's shooting on top of the green and running this. I want to break that up and introduce some new growth. Is that introduce the correct word? I think so. Okay, hold on. Promote is maybe a better word. Promote new growth. Okay, so I'm going to set it to, I think -5. I don't think I'm going to go to -10. That's obviously below the level of the wheels, so we want to dig into the grass a bit. If we're looking at tall lawns like this, we could go a little bit higher, then we just tease the top, but I'm going to go below the surface level. Let's get this vacuum party started, Owens. Yeah, it's definitely a vacuum engine in here. A little bit dewy, so it's not throwing the cuttings or the thatch into the basket that lekker. Right, let's look at the results. So that went well, people. I did one pass plus like a trim, a ring edge pass. Okay, yeah, and that's how it looks, Owens. I'm very tempted to go to -10, but I think that this -5 setting is the one for me because it's still taking out quite a lot. I would have loved to have the tines closer to each other, but once again, I think this thing is more aimed towards lawns instead of necessarily putting greens. So I'm going to have another go in another direction, maybe just like 90 degrees on that, guys. Just straight trying to make squares instead of just going on like a diamond pass. I'm going to go straight from the side. Now that is great results, Owens. Maybe not removed every single leaf blade off this green or every single bit of thickness, but I think I need to do this a little bit more often, you know. Look at those perfect squares, Owens. You can play a game of chess on here. So that is a great result, Owens. Only time will tell how effective that is, but the whole point of this thing, or the whole aim of this thing, is to improve the rate at which air flows into the soil or gets down to the root level, as well as water. So hopefully that improves it. Now I'm going to pull out my professional cylinder mower, and I'm just going to do a mow here to try and clean this area up. I might even just blow it quickly just to get most of the grass off, and then just cut that excess off that's standing a little bit up. So this is how much clippings I came up with. Now this catcher isn't very big, but there's still quite a lot here. This is going to make a great compost additive. Everything is dead here, Owens. My plants is not looking lacquer at the moment. There's some color still. So currently I'm actually adding this Kentucky bluegrass clippings to this compost because I've got a lot of brown, but I don't have a lot of green. So I'm adding that. Guys, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you who stuck around to this point. The green almost looks, well, it definitely looks a little bit more bumpy, but it looks very good, guys. I'm super happy with how this came out. I think I need to do this in a few weeks, maybe a month's time, once again to thin it out even more, but there's definitely some more space for air and water to filter in, sorry. Now, talking playability, I think this is obviously going to be a little bit bumpier. Check, I can see it's a little bit bumpy, but not bad, guys. For a backyard putting green, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's why they don't do it too aggressive on the golf courses. They kind of do it a lighter, you know, scarify or verticut rather, so that you can play the same day. It might not be as good, but you get speedier recovery. You can see there, guys, that's where the grass was taken out. A little bit difficult to see on camera, but definitely some space for nutrients, air, water to flow down. Once again, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye.